Welcome to another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Today, we're going to unbox and take a look at Star Wars, The Clone Wars from Z-Man Games, and it is a pandemic system. Now, what is a pandemic system? Well, these are games that share mechanics or are based on generally based on the original Pandemic, which came out several years ago. Now, it wasn't the original or the first cooperative game, but Pandemic arguably ushered in the cooperative era of hobby games and Euro games and the like. Pandemic was a wildly successful cooperative game, and inspired a whole wave of cooperative games that came out after it. And in fact, it's now inspiring games that are based on its system, and hence the Pandemic system. Some of the other games that we have seen that have come out under the Pandemic system are Cthulhu. They've themed Cthulhu. Z-Man Games has, and have used the Pandemic system for that. And we even have some war games that have come out. This is Pandemic Fall of Rome, and this was is really kind of a war game of sorts. And I probably should do a separate piece just on this because it is an interesting game. This is basically dealing with the fall of Rome and the barbarians at the gate, and you are you're playing Rome and cooperatively, although this plays solo very well as well, and trying to hold back the different tribes and sometimes making alliances with them. But that's not what we're dealing with today. We are dealing with Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and I'd kind of like to see how they took the Pandemic system to the Star Wars world. This is dealing with the Clone Wars, so this is after the prequels, Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, and before you get to the original, which is 4, 5, and 6. So this is dealing with the Clone Wars period. And as you can see here, you're going to have some plastic minis for the different factions. Of course, you got the Jedi, and you're going to have the Sith, or the opponents there. Looks like they've got General Grievous there. And you're going to have a map board that has the different planets. So Pandemic, the original was based on a pandemic. Too soon? And basically you were running around the globe and trying to cure 4 different strains of a pandemic, and trying to do that before you kind of had an outbreak and got just overwhelmed. And so it'd be interesting to see how they use that system in this game. So let's get inside the box and see what we have here. If you are a fan of Pandemic and that mechanism, and also a fan of Star Wars, especially the Clone Wars, then this is probably a no-brainer. But if you've never played Pandemic before but are a fan of Star Wars, then this might be worth a look, and vice versa. If you've not a big fan of Star Wars but like Pandemic, then you might want to take a look at this as well. So we've got the box here. Let's go up a little bit here and get a better look at what we can see here. So nice, good thick box from Z-Man Games. We get the rules here, which are, don't see if they're numbered here. Don't really like that when they number. You just got credits on the back here. So 11 pages. So you got the Jedi and the villains. Here's some fine points. Here's solo play. So really only 8 pages. It's dual column, full color. Looks like there's example, and it's 8 pages here. So not too bad. And this is kind of a larger size rule book here, but it's not super small text. And as I said, you have examples here. Here's your setup, and there you have it. So you got your contents and components, setup, And then you're right into playing the game here, or understanding the game on page 4. All right, so there's the rules. Here's the board. We'll unshrink that in a second. Let's see what else we got in here. We've got your minis. Oh, here we go. Darth Sidious there, possibly. I don't know all the characters, my kids do. But the tans are, it looks like they're probably the Jedi, and the blue are the villains, is what they're called. Oh, let's get Yoda out of there. Gotta have Yoda. Then there's also some in here, I think. Let's pull all these out. So you got your card decks. And these are probably the different characters that you play. There might be missions there, not certain. Those look kind of thin. Let's see what we have inside here. There we go. So here's your rest of your components here. You've got a die. And it looks like you got some star ports or bases there. Okay. Then we have some, oh, these are plastic, some nice thick plastic tokens there, and some big thick translucent tokens. And then you've got your droids, so part of the droid army there. So that's going to be the thing that's going to be probably populating on the map that you have to take out. Let's move that out of the way here. Let's look at the cards here. And the cards really drive a lot of the game, because that's where you have, in Pandemic, it's outbreak, so this is probably where the villains get on the board. Again, it'd be interesting to see how they convert this over. So by the looks of the back of that deck, those look like villains there. There's Grievous and Count Dooku and all kinds of baddies. These look like they might be missions, maybe. Unfinished Business, Citadel. So this might be, I really need to look and see how they play this out there. But those are those backs there. These are the different planets. Kind of shows you where it's at on the board as well. So that's how I think some of the stuff's going to get onto the board. Pretty easy to open these up here. More of the planets. Here's Mission Planet. So all those are there. Yeah, I'm getting interested in figuring out how this plays out. And these are the rebels, or the good guys, the heroes. Guess they're not the rebels yet. This is during the Clone Wars. So you got some different icons up here for the different soldiers, and then some planes or ships. The Padme and Hondo and CP3 and R2-D2, Chancellor Palpatine. So these are bigger characters there. And these are the, probably goes with the minis that we saw up there. Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Anakin, Yoda. Okay. You got a little player aid here. Your actions: fly, attack, reinforce, attempt mission. You got blockade, starting plan. This tells where the starting planet's at for that character, maybe. Huh. Not sure what those are. Maybe when you draw these, that tells you what your starting planet's going to be, and then you have it. Then you flip it over, and you know what your actions are. So it serves as a little bit of a player aid. Let's look at these over here. And what we have here, there's Count Dooku. There's Darth Maul. General Grievous, Ventress. So this must be the different foes you fight. So maybe you can pick out different ones. There's their health. This is power here. Huh. So they look a little different. So I wonder how they... oh, there's the health on there. So there you go. So you've got some different baddies to fight there. Let's look at the board here. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Let's get this unshrinked here. Nice thick mounted board there. And pretty good size. I might have to go up periscope a little bit here to get a better look at that. You can see that pretty good there. There you go. Seeing all the different, so you got the different planets. I guess this is how they're connected. Kind of simple there, but you got your player turn, ready cards, do 4 actions, activate, villain, invade planets, hand limit is 7. Here's your threat level. Normally that's, and then you have your invasion level. Normally the threat level is a situation where, like if it gets down to probably to the Emperor Palpatine icon there, then you probably lose the game. And the invasion is probably how many planets you have to flip over to see how the droids, these guys, are invading. You have missions. Looks like you got 2 different types of missions and the mission deck there. And then you have squad discard and squad deck there. So that's it. That's what you have. Oh, you got some stuff up here. There's the villain sheet, villain deck, villain discard, and invasion deck and invasion discard. So there you go. So this is probably the villain sheet here. That will go up at the top there. Then they'll have their own unique villain deck, depending on who you're going to go against. And then, of course, they have different stuff they do. You're probably going to be flipping those over, and it's going to be doing some stuff. I also got this along with it, too. This is the promo miniatures. So let's see what's in here. Looks like it's got a little bit of tape on that. This just came along with it. It wasn't wrapped in it or anything like that, so I don't know if this just comes with every set or if this was something special that they threw in there. Oh, there we go. And we got a little bit of a card there. So this is the Clone Wars. In this pack contains 36 battle droids for Star Wars Clone Wars, a pandemic system, free product, not to be sold separately. Okay. So I got 2 different types of droids. I got these guys, and I got these guys. So that's cool. Little special stuff there. So that is what you get in the box. Here's these are the missions here. That'll be going over here. I'm not sure how these fit in. These might be your special character for your characters. And then this is probably the squad deck for the game. So this is what you get in a box here. It's kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure how this all fits together. I can kind of see some of the semblance of a pandemic game with, flipping over these planets to see the invasion, and probably putting these guys out, but you've got this special deck for the villains. That's a little different. Don't know how these guys fit in here, and a die. Normally you don't have a die, and that's like maybe it's a 12-sider with some special symbols on it. Don't know how that's going to fit in. These tokens are probably going to mark your threat and your invasion, but you've got some other stuff going on there. And that is what you get in the box there. Oh, don't leave out the can't leave out the specialized minis there. Let's look at Grievous. There we go. Cool. So there you have it. That is what you get in a box of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, a pandemic system. So looking forward to getting this to the table, because this the neat thing about these cooperative games, you can play them solo if you're so inclined. Anyway, thanks for stopping by today and spending some time with me on this Saturday. Hopefully this is something that you're interested in, and if not, well then, hey, you just keep on going. But I thought this was kind of interesting. It fits definitely in the sci-fi realm, and there is some battling going on here between these droids and your characters. So this should be interesting. I'd like to get this to the table. Anyway, thanks for all, and hope you have a great one. Thanks for watching.